This video will show you how to create a training course in Open eLMS. Please respect the Brillianto copyright. This video comes in 3 parts. In part 1, I will introduce you to Open eLMS. In part 2, I will create a basic training course on the topic Nature-Based Climate Solutions. In part 3, I will edit the basic training video course as it comes out of Open eLMS, and I will make significant enhancements to add value to the learner experience. Part 1. Introduction to Open eLMS. Please note that throughout this presentation we will be using the Learning Generator product. So what is Open eLMS? It's a generative AI tool. It creates fully editable learning material in minutes. The pricing starts at £20 a month or £300 a year. A free trial is available for 14 days with full functionality. So here is what Open eLMS can do. It starts with a PDF document. This could be any document from the internet or a bespoke PDF that you have created for this purpose. Such a document may combine information from several documents and your own expertise on the topic. Open eLMS converts the PDF document into an online training course with quizzes, knowledge checks, and tabs. So there's some level of interactivity. It gives a full narration to that training course. It then also produces a training video, a PowerPoint, and if you like, also a podcast. And when you have done all that, it can convert it into any other language with a couple of mouse clicks. Let's have a quick look at the Open eLMS Learning Generator product page. So here we are on the Open eLMS product page for the Learning Generator. You can start the 14-day trial by pressing this big green button. This video here is similar to what I'm about to show you in a moment. Let's scroll down a bit. And I'd like to show you the features. All required is one document, one PDF. Multimodal AI, that means it produces AI outputs in several modes: audio, video, text, and infographics, all combined. What I find really important is that the output is fully editable. And finally, it is really simple to distribute your e-learning to learners within minutes. Okay, and below that, you got the pricing plans. The Learning Generator Lite is the monthly plan, and Learning Generator is the annual plan, and it has a slightly more generous monthly allowance of some of the features. And that's all I wanted to show for now. Part 2. I will now create a basic training course. I will run a stopwatch in the same window so you can see if I can meet the challenge to create and share a video taking less than 5 minutes of my time. The topic of this video will be nature-based climate solutions. And I will upload this document to Open eLMS. Nature-Based Climate Solutions, 7 must-knows for effective implementation. It was published by Sustainability in the Digital Age in April 2026, and it has contributions from a number of Canadian universities. Okay, I'm now going to start the live demonstration. We are now on the login place for the Open eLMS Learning Generator. You can see the URL here, and this is my stopwatch. What I'm going to do now is press the start button, and then we see how long it takes me to produce this first version of the training outputs. I'm going to press start. I'm going to log into my account, and I've got 2 options: create learning or look at the existing learning library. So I choose create learning. I'm going to enter the training course title. So that is Nature-Based Climate Solutions. I usually leave this learning objectives empty. I now need to add my one key ingredient, which is the PDF, by clicking this blue button. So a Windows browser opens. I select the Nature-Based Climate Solutions PDF that I've already downloaded earlier. Now you can choose a number of different styles, and this is kind of technical. So you could either go for a professional technical or for informative explanatory. I'm choosing this professional technical style. It's usually too wordy, the output, so I always go for very concise. The course length depends on your plan, whether you can go comprehensive or in depth. I choose moderate for this, and I don't want generative AI to hallucinate me any information in this. So I say no edit information from AGI, or you could say just minor added info. Sometimes that can be helpful. Okay, then you have the choice to add the quiz. I'll just leave that as it is. You've got a number of different narrators. I leave it on the default here, Olivia, in British English. And I make sure that the right boxes are ticked. So the knowledge checks are mini quizzes, infographics. I want a PowerPoint. I want a video. I want a summary. I don't need gamification, mind map, or podcasts. So I leave that. And then I press the generate learning button. And I'm going to scroll down, and you can see here it's going to start generating the content. This may take about 20 minutes, but my time is done. So I'm going to pause the clock, and I'm going to go away, have a cup of coffee or something, and just come back when this is ready, which should be about 20 minutes. Okay, it is now about 15 minutes later, and I'm going to resume the stop clock. Right, so as you can see here at the bottom of the learning generator, it now says nature-based climate solutions as a green tick, and it's produced PowerPoint video and summary, and you can view all that in the library, which is the other tab here. And here we are. This is the course I've just created. This was an earlier attempt at it, but I wanted to have a fresh start. So here we are, nature-based climate solutions, and I can now click on this button here to share. And then I can copy this link to share the course. And just to demonstrate that this works, I can now paste this link in here. And I can email that to anybody I like. And whoever receives this email.
Hello and welcome. Read the following message and then press the button below to continue.
Okay, that was just the start of the training course. I'm going to stop the clock here. This is the interactive training course that I can share with anybody. I'm going back to kind of the administrator part here, and I'm going to restart the clock in a moment. So just to show you that you've got everything you need in less than 5 minutes. So I've already sent the link to the full training course to a learner, and they can open it. And now I'm going to restart the clock, and I'm just going to download all the learning content. So I go on this share button here again for nature-based climate solutions, move the clock, and here I've got a number of options, and I'm going to select download. And what this creates is a so-called SCORM file, which is one big file that contains everything. And I can just click on this and download this file, and that should only take a few minutes. And here we are. That's the full SCORM file already downloaded. I can extract that all into a new folder. And now I've got this new folder, and here is everything that I want. And that's it. I'm going to stop the clock, and I managed to do all this in 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And as you can see here, I've now got access to everything I produced in less than 5 minutes. The course video, the presentation, a course summary.
Part 3. Enhancing the basic training course for a better learning experience. The 1-hour challenge. Once I start a live demonstration of how to edit the training course, I will make the following enhancements. I will introduce corporate colors and a corporate logo to the menu and layout. I will add bespoke slides, known as screens in OpenELMS, to better round up the training course. I will enhance the content page. I will tweak the course to enhance the AI voiceover. I will replace some AI-generated images. I will simplify the language. I will enhance the overall design and layout. Okay, I'm now going to start the live demo.
I am now in the OpenELMS learning generator. Here's my learning library. Full disclosure, I paused the video and created an identical copy of the online course. So later on, I can have a before and an after version. When it comes to editing, I will work on this version, the one with the mountains and the lakes. You may find that in the following, I may have sped up the video or cut bits out, but I can assure you that I did this in a single session in real time. I'm going to press the stopwatch now. I will then start enhancing the basic training course for a better learning experience. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to hover over the pencil symbol to edit the course. This opens the edit window. I'm going to start with some edits in the settings. So I press on the settings wheel. This will affect and improve the interactive course and the training video. So to start with, I'm going to replace the title bar over the video with my corporate colors, which is a dark green. So I'm just pasting that in here. And now everything is dark green. I will then replace the logo with my organization's logo. And I should already have that in the library. So I'm going to check the uploads. And that's the logo I want to use. So I click on Change Image to change that. There's the Brillianto logo. And I'm going to replace the link with Brillianto. Just going to make sure that's in the right format with HTTPS. Okay. And that's the changes on the interface tab of the settings. I'm now going to look at functionality. And here's various settings. You may or may not want to change them. I want to show the summary at the end. In my case, I do not want to show the PowerPoint to the learner, and I do not want to show the video link, but you may decide to change this in a different way. So I click OK, and the settings are gold. Immediately, the bar here at the top has turned into my corporate green. So that's that. And now I want to edit the main course, and I want to start by adding a course title slide because the course starts a little bit abruptly the way it's produced. So I'm going to go here to my navigation pane, and I'm going to duplicate one of these screens where I know that the structure is right. So I'm skipping the learning goal here. So I click on the duplication button. Then I want to move that slide in the right position. So I'm going to move the learning goals a little bit down. So I've copied this slide, introduction to nature-based, and I want to make sure that I'm working with the correct slide. I then click on the title here. That shows me that I'm currently not in the right guide. So I need to wait for the system to catch up or to refresh. I want this first slide to be highlighted. Okay, now it's working. So I click here and I add something like, welcome to nature-based climate solutions. I better check the spelling, get rid of typos. So that is now going to appear here in the bar. Sometimes the system takes a minute or two to do that. It hasn't made the change. Sometimes you just need to go in. It's showing here correctly. So that's good. Sometimes the system takes a moment to catch up. While I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to change the text that I want on my title slide. So I've got this existing text box. I can also select it here on the left-hand side in the screen navigator. I double-click on it, and I want to make sure the auto narrator is on. So I want to have some very basic text to be on the title slide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some text from a text file. So I'm not introducing something new. And actually, in this case, it's the title, and I'm adding a full stop, which helps with the AI narration. And then I'm changing the text that comes underneath to a training course by Brillianto. And now I want to delete all the old text, and I click OK. Now I'm going to see what that looks like. Might have to go to another slide.
Nature-based climate solution, a training course by Brillianto.
Okay, great. So that's worked. I also want to make this text box a little bit smaller. Oh, actually, no, I don't have to. So that's great. I'm still got an issue here. You need to press the refresh button.
Nature-based climate solution, a training course by Brillianto.
Okay, but this box here at the top still says introduction. And I wanted it to say, welcome to. So sometimes the system kind of is a bit slow because it's all cloud-based. You may have to repeat one or two things, but usually it's fine. That's what I want.
Nature-based climate solution, Okay. Training course by Brillianto.
Okay. So now it has the correct title there that the learner will be able to see, but I haven't inserted the right image yet. So I'm leaving this woodland scene here as the background image, but what I'm doing is I'm importing a new image that sits on this screen. And I do that by selecting image rather than background. I've prepared something earlier, but I need to upload that. So I click on the plus symbol here and I select this. So this is not a PowerPoint slide. This is a screenshot of a PowerPoint slide because the only thing I can import here are audio files and image files. So I click on that in my File Explorer, press the OK button. This should load the new image, and then I can click on Insert this new image. So that is great. So I'm going to select the content. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to show this content at all. I just want the narration to run in the background. So I'm reducing the opacity to 0. So it's completely opaque and it disappears. Now I go to the image and I want to put the image, here in the top right in the correct position in the X and the Y position. And I want to change the size to something smaller. And I think it's 1200 by 650. And it saves things automatically. So that should be everything I want to do. Now I'm going to insert another slide in exactly the same way. I'm going to do that a little bit quicker. You always need to make sure section, and I'm simply going to call this copyright. And the text I want to insert is very short, and it simply says, please respect our copyright. Delete this text. I'm going to say OK, but I want to listen to this.
Please respect our copyright. Means before.
I think it doesn't like the minus signs there. That needs to go. OK.
Please respect our copyright.
OK, and that's all I wanted it to say. So I'm going to make that fully opaque. And now I'm going to insert an image that has that copyright information. So that's something I prepared earlier. And I'm going to open that. And that's new here. I'm going to insert that. And then I have to put that in the right position and make it the right size as well. So you need to be sure that you are working with the right element of a screen. Otherwise, you edit something away you don't want to. That now says copyright there, and the text is simply, please respect our copyright. Now I'm going to go to the learning goal.
Hello and welcome. Read the following message
And
press the button below to continue.
A lot of people really don't like this narrator. So the first thing I'm going to do is to delete that narrator. Yes, okay. Now I have the issue when I go on the text that the text was previously not auto-narrated. It was just avatar speaking. So I now need to click that button. The little trick is with headlines to add a full stop behind it. And I'm going to make that white so it's barely visible. And there's a full stop missing. That's important. I'm going to edit the words. I'm going to say, we will address. Okay, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to click OK. And then the last change.
Welcome to this learning session on nature-based climate solutions. In this course, we will address fundamentals of nature-based climate solutions, emissions reductions and net zero goals, climate impact, resilience and impermanence, indigenous leadership and conservation scope, carbon markets, and implementation principles. There will be a quiz at the end to test your knowledge.
Okay, great. I also need to make this box smaller. So I'm going to click on content in the navigation bar.
Introduction to nature-based climate solutions. Learning goals. Welcome to this learning session on nature-based climate solutions.
Just going to say this is 300. That's not enough. If it's too small, then you have to make it bigger again. So 400. And I wanted this to have a full stop at the end. Well, there's a full stop. The full stop to be white. And there was an American Oxford comma, which I don't like, so I'm going to change that. And I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to proceed in a similar way with all the other slides. I'm just going to check if there's anything that I don't like. I know with this software that it's struggling with acronyms unless they're spelled or capitalized. So I'm capitalizing that, putting a full stop here to make it pause for a second. And I'm going to make that all white so it's barely visible. I'm going to simplify the language here by breaking the sentence in two and just say they provide environmental and social benefits. Say, okay, I'd want to make the height of this box slightly smaller, 150. Okay, great. Next slide. On this slide, I've got an acronym in the title, and so that it reads it properly, I'm going to capitalize that completely. It's a full stop, which I will hide by making it white. Again, I'm going to simplify the language and break it into two sentences. And on this occasion, I'd like to reduce the width of the box, and I'd like to move the box. I'd like to increase the size of this one here. Yeah, 150. That's 150. I think it's a great graph, so I'm just giving it a little bit more space. But now it seems too big. Just going over the arrows, something like that. Okay, something like that is okay. So to do that slide. Oh, that slide. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Usual editing of the text. Full stop. Remain invisible. As always, I like to simplify the language, break all the sentences down. Reduce the height of that to 30. So you can see a little bit more of the image. This slide actually has a knowledge check attached, which should be hiding here. So I need to check the knowledge check, see that I'm happy with it, quickly click through that, and yeah, okay, so if there's anything wrong with it, or you added that, this seems to be fine. So I'm moving on to the next screen, understanding unintended impacts. I'll just follow a similar pattern. We'll stop there. Okay. These must be kept during planning. Okay. It's a bit of an odd image here. I'm going to show a little more of the top of the image, which is very nice. I'm going to reduce the box height so I can see even more of the background image. Okay, moving on. This is a slide that's got several tabs, so I need to check through all the tabs to make sure this is all right. Okay, now I need to make sure I can edit this as well. Right, okay. Well, actually, the text is good, so maybe I'll just leave that as it is and move on to the next slide. So again, here, I like the image. I'm going to change that. So the AI narrator can cope with that. We need to, I'm going to use English spelling here off. And I'm going to change the order of the words to match the infographic, which is correct. So that means wetland, okay, agricultural areas. Then I'm going to put there. Okay, this includes wetlands, grassland. That's not trees, okay. Right, move this image up a bit. I'm going to reduce the width of this a little bit. Move that a little bit further on. I'm changing the width. And I'm going to make this again. I like that infographic, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Right, I'm happy with that. Advancing indigenous-led conversation. Let's click on content. Usual full stop. Okay, full stop there. Okay, and the box. Okay, great. Okay, so here I'm prioritizing net zero emissions. I'm using British spelling. So I'm prioritizing that. And I'm going to, this must happen before NV for usage net emissions and historical there. Okay, okay. I also want to change the spelling here in the headline, where again is American spelling. So I'm going to say okay to that. I actually don't like this graph here. It's a bar chart. The figures are not fact-based, it's just for purposes, saying that we have energy emission reduction prices, energy for industry sectors. So this doesn't make any sense. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete this whole graph, yes, I'm sure, and I'm going to insert an infographic step, which I like a lot better, and which I have from a previous run playing around with this. I need to upload an image, and that image is this one here, this infographic, and now I'm inserting that. All I have to do now is put that in the right position, and as before, I like my infographics a little bit bigger. Because the infographic I can't edit that, so I can't, yeah, do that. And the text box needs just a little bit of finessing. But when you're editing, be careful not to use the titles around this here, so that's good. This is looking nice. Okay, and I think this slide has another knowledge check. It's me. Yeah, and here's the admin view of that. And I trust that's all good, but I can always have a quick check on those versus different kinds of methods matching and also the apples looks good. Okay, let me come to the slide on summary of implementation principles. And what I like to do with that one, I actually like to move that in a slightly different position because it completely obscures the view of these people. Holistic approach. Again, make sure I put lines and leave that box with a comma. Yeah, I'm going to say okay to that. I'm going to reduce the height. And now I'm going to move this box further down. Or can I move that box here? I'm going to move that box there. And I need to increase the height now. I'm sorry, this is nicer because I can have all the faces of the people here. Okay, and then here's a slide on the color markets. It's slightly obscures this background image. Yeah, where's the best place for that? All kind of what sad notings are, so I'm going to color that. I think that's a bit odd. Yeah, make the box as small as possible, and I can see most of this graph. And the usual editing here for the AI. Okay, and I'll leave that same as it is. Okay, the next screen here is our strength and climate resilience. Again, the usual changes. And then this also, there's no spell checking here, so if you type something wrong, also it's literally using typos. This also delivers move the opposite comma and local communities. Okay, and I can reduce the height. And let's see where best put this text box. Yeah, I think that's good. So I can see the landscape, I can see the text as well. Okay. Then next screen is our conclusion and future outlook. Let's see how we can improve that. All right. Sentences are too long. I just say they must implement with careful implementation that potential positive impact. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And where do I best put that box? I've got the electric vehicle there, I've got solar panels there. So maybe I'm going to put it here. And then the next screen is the quiz at the end. And again, you can go through the quiz questions, check if you're happy with the answers. They usually are, which is great. And then before we come to the summary, I now want to insert a couple more slides to enhance the course. So what I've done before is to duplicate this. And then I'm going to put this just before the summary. And I want to make sure I'm working with the correct slide here. And I'm going to call this how we created this course. That's what I'm going to name it. So that's going to show up in the top corner. And the text that goes with it is a little bit longer. Okay. I'm going to delete that and hope that it's not going to mess up the AI narration. Let's listen to this.
This training course is based on nature-based climate solution. 7 last notes for effective implementation. The document was published by sustainability in digital age in April 2026, with contributions from a number of Canadian universities. You can access the original document by scanning the QR code.
Okay, that sounds great. Now I'm going to make that okay because I'm using the same technique as before. I'm now inserting a slide that goes with that narration. I'm going to upload that as an image, same as I've done before, and this is the image that goes with that narration. And it's here. I can now insert it.
This training course is based on nature-based climate solution. 7 last notes for effective implementation. The document was published by sustainability in digital age in April 2026, with contributions from a number of Canadian universities.
Okay.
You can access the original document by scanning the QR code.
What I really want to do is turn that audio off. And then I need to do something with the image. Put it in the 0, 0 position and change the size as before. 200, 650 is the maximum, and that should look right. Okay, so some of the text is a bit overlapping with the arrow, but so be it. That's okay. And then that's the acknowledgement. Okay, that's all good. Everything is showing. I'm now going to do that again because I've got one more slide. I'm going to move that. I want to make sure that, yeah. So this is no longer conclusions and future outlook. This is going to become a slide about more resources. Okay. The text is going to go here, and it's going to say this text here. So I don't want to say that. Just say that headline, and let's read that.
All documents from nature-based solution. Visit the Brilliant Instructions library by Brillianto. Follow the URL or scan the QR code.
Okay, yep, Brillianto, the pronunciation, that's fine. And now, as before, I want to insert the screenshot of the slide that goes with that. That is here, number 4. So I'm going to open that and insert it. As before, that needs to be 0 into the corner. Oh, I'm editing the content of the image. Go make sure that I edit the right thing. 1200, 650. Okay. Right, that's the side. Let's go with this text, more resources. Okay, so I've got that all imported. And then we get the summary. Again, I do not like the narrator and summary, so we're deleting that. Now we need to auto-narrate this text instead of doing that. Okay, just the usual things. There's a full stop missing, so we have that. Removing service Oxford commas. We change the going to if you would like to be listening to in this course. Please use the menu at the bottom of the screen so we can navigate forwards and backwards. Okay. Box is just a little bit too high here, but that's fine actually. Summary. Okay, and then one final slide. I'm going to duplicate the more resources slide, and I'm going to move that. Probably easier to move the summary up here. And this is now called the end of the course. Always good practice. End of the course. To conclude with that, so that's all put in. And then I need to delete the existing image, so I need to make the content visible. And I edited the wrong thing, so you always got to make sure. Summary. Okay, you're on the right screen, you're on the right side. So now we're there. Section. Do that again of the course. Avoid typos. Okay. Delete this image. Yeah. For a short time, make the text visible again, so that I can insert the correct auto-narration text. This, which is very short. This includes the course on nature-based climate solutions. Okay, and then I can make it disappear and make it okay. And now I'm introducing the correct slide screenshot from what I prepared earlier. Okay, and that's this one here. Open that. Okay, and then I'm sure on the image, not on the text box. Yeah. Highlight it and I want to 0 that into the top corner. Change the size as I've done several times before. The height is correct, 650. Okay, and I'm quite sure that now concludes the course. So I'm going to stop the clock. This is me completing the course, and you can now save the updated course with whoever you want to save it with. That took me only 48 minutes. There is now one thing that you've got to do. So it's a bit odd here. It says cancel, but that actually is fine. You need to cancel to go out of this. So I'm going to restart the clock, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do. So let me resume the clock and say cancel to this, which is a bit counterintuitive. And then when you go to share here and you go to this link, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that in here. And let's just see if that's the original course or if that's the fully enhanced edited course.
Strengthened climate resilience. Nature-based climate solutions.
Yes, that is the fully updated course. That's what I wanted. Okay, great. So I'm going to stop the clock. So the moment I edit the interactive training course, the link, the URL that I can share with the learner automatically links to this new presentation, which starts now with this wonderful welcome to nature-based climate solutions with the title slide fully branded, giving people a much better impression of what's going on. And that's what I wanted to show in this part of the video. And then I'm going to do a little bit of recap, and I will share the final product with you so you can convince yourself that what I've produced here in less than 50 minutes is indeed fully enhanced. It looks a lot better than the original. Okay, so that's it. I'll continue in PowerPoint, a bit of a recap.
And here are the enhancements I just made in less than 50 minutes. Conclusions. The original output is not perfect, but fully editable, and with very little editing time, you can achieve great enhancements of the learner experience. Open eLMS allows you to make tailored, bespoke courses in a very cost-effective way. You have multiple output options, including an interactive training course, a training video, a PowerPoint, and more. You can share the learning materials immediately and without the need for an additional training hosting plan. And this concludes our video on how to create a training course in Open eLMS. Please feel free to contact Brillianto if you would like to explore how you can use Open eLMS to add value to your organization's learning and development and to your external training offer.